speaking of mentoring, Chris Jericho and MJF, I mean, who's mentoring who at this point? The guy that is Jericho is the GOAT for a reason, but you see MJF looking as smooth and polished as anybody in the business ever. But we're seeing more and more of what we really want to see, which is Sammy Guevara pushing back. He was pushing back against Jericho. He's pushing it back MJF. He's pushing it back against the whole Inner Circle. And this is just the writing on the walls, which we can't wait to see, and how he's calling himself and asking them if they're collateral damage. Is are we collateral damage to you guys? We were in the ring together, and then you're saying this, and Jericho's saying we're all the Inner Circle, we're all one team. But Sammy Guevara is not seeing it that way. They're taking the hits, they're taking the losses, while MJF and Chris Jericho are having, celebrating with a little bit of the bubbly. And so, what happened behind closed doors with MJF scheming with the rest of the Inner Circle is going to be another kind of, mind game trick with that. I wonder what he said to the rest of them while Sammy and Chris Jericho were outside of the door when Wardlow shut it on us. So I thought that was a powerful segment and, unexpected as well. So it's coming. The turmoil is coming. It's there. We saw it in the match, and we see it in the backstage promo. So yeah, I'm excited for it.
The Sex Gods were the two of the last three in that tag team battle royal, and in my mind, I was geeking out. I was like, man, I love Sammy and Jericho together. I love that, and it quickly ended with Jericho unintentionally knocking Sammy out and eliminating Sammy from that match.
Unintentionally,
yes, exactly. I will say, Sammy has he's gotten on our radar more and more over the last few weeks, and a lot of that is because of the way this Inner Circle storyline is playing out. AEW is doing such a great job of slow playing this Sammy Guevara face turn, and that line alone, he didn't have to give a big dramatic speech. SPD, that line alone, where it's awfully convenient how we are always the collateral damage. It really showcased a thoughtfulness, but a seething, bubbling anger inside that is ready to erupt at any. I mean, you could tell Sammy's had it up to here with we're all one family, we're all one team, and then his desires and his goals are always set to the side for the betterment of Chris Jericho. And I think that MJF as Jericho left the room, I think MJF, he's the ultimate chess player. That man is always scheming, always thinking, always manipulating circumstances and situations for his betterment. I think that Santana and Ortiz kind of hanging out in that room, they're primed for MJF to plant some seeds of discontent in that group. I'm intrigued to where this is going to go. The Inner Circle storyline to me is pretty fascinating, and I don't know where they're going to take it. I don't know if it's going to lead to, like you and I have talked about, MJF versus Sammy, if it's going to lead to Jericho versus Sammy, because we're starting to see some of that.
Both. I would say both, maybe.
Maybe both. I mean, think about the rub and the explosion that Sammy's career will have if he can have matches with both of those two guys. I don't know, man. That implosion that's slowly but surely coming is fascinating. But let's put that on the back burner, because you know that MJF and Jericho have a number one contender. They're the number one contenders now. So I'm intrigued to see if they're able to accomplish achieve some gold and maybe accomplish some big things before that group breaks up. See what happens.